Bernadoodle's barnyard. Homestead is right arm, bringing back tradition, living in God's nation. Bernadoodle barnyard.
My husband and I just got back from our date for our anniversary, and we're going to work on the rabbit hutches. He's going to get in the woods and trim up some stuff so we can put in another hoop house structure, and I'm going to go repair the bottom of the other cage, and then we're going to go together and move the 2 large rabbit cages into the new hoop structure and also put a back on the other cage. So these are the 2 existing structures I have. We're going to build one just like this because I like it the best. The cage tops open up towards the outside, and they can also clip to the cattle panels, which I like because it holds the top up. This one was a little harder to get into, so those 2 cages are going to move into a second one just like this, right behind it there. And then this is going to become my new transition doe shelter. So I have 6 24 by 24 cages I'll be storing in this structure here. So all we have to do for that is add some bottom braces to hold the smaller cages. The other thing I want to do is, as I clean out the gardens, I'd like to scoop up most of the rabbit poop that's under the grow out cages because the newly freed chickens have decided that's their favorite spot to be and are kicking the poop everywhere as they eat the bugs in it. And I'd rather they don't spread out all of my manure. So I'm going to try to gather all that up and put it in the garden with the garlic and the asparagus. My husband just cleared this area out next to the other hoop shelter. So this is where the new one's going to go. So here's the extension we made for the cattle panel tunnel building. My husband's running out to go get some tarps for this, and I'm going to see what I can do for repairs on the other rabbit hutch. Animals like to scare me by doing death naps. Mama here, I think she's due in the next couple of days, so she's just taking a minute, taking a nap. All right, first step in repair, I cut this piece of plywood, and I'm literally just going to screw this down. I need to make sure it's back far enough where the backboard will go up against it and won't be in the way. So I was just repairing this hole, but all of the wire next to it is as spongy, so I don't trust it not to break sooner than later. So I'm just going to cover this whole section and call it a day. And it's just going to have to be something I come in and clean often because it is going to be covered in feces because they're rabbits. The goats got the little trees that we cut down. So I have a local Homestead friend I just met, and I've been getting eggs for her and trading zucchinis and some other stuff. And she has some 3-month-old Rhode Island red hens available. I'm thinking about getting 6 from her. So that would be really nice. That would leave me with 12 productive layers, 6 of them being young, and that'll start me off good for my new plan of swapping out 6 every year or 2. And so this year will be the Rhode Island Reds, and next year or the year after will be another group of 6 Leghorns. So that way I'll know them apart. The Leghorns lay white eggs, the Rhode Island Reds lay brown, so I should have a nice 50-50 mix of those colors. So I always try to be a little over-ambitious when it comes to projects. I was hoping to get this project done and the other cage, but unfortunately it's time now for dinner, putting kids to bed, and other chores, so we did get this project done, which I'm very happy about. The other one will have to be put off for sometime this week. I didn't realize it's actually raining tonight and tomorrow, so we'll see how much I get done tomorrow based on how crazy the rainstorm is. But this is my new rabbit shelter. My husband ended up picking up a 16 by 20 tarp instead of doing 2 small tarps. We have one big one, so there's no seams for rain to leak through or anything else. And then we ended up moving the grow out rabbits into the new structure. So the one behind me is empty, except for the one single rabbit that I picked up this week. She's in there just because it's going to rain. I want to make sure she was dry tonight. So if I really wanted to, I can get another small tarp and add another few feet here if I wanted a few more small cages on the end. So there's 4 8-foot cages in there. And then this is where my 6 small does are going to go. I need to clean it up, but the one opal rabbit near the house is due to have her babies. She's made a nest, but I want to give her a little more hay just because there's not as much as I'd like in there for some warmth. Good, Mama. I love how they take as much as they can in one bite instead of going back, take trips. What a cutie. You gonna take the whole pile at once? Whoa, that's pretty impressive, Mom. That's not where it's going. If you put it there, I'll be moving it. Put it in the box. I'm getting rained on inside. I think I'm gonna wait a minute to do chores. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be working in the garden today. It's just gonna be a mud pie. But maybe if the rain slows down a bit, I'll go work on the back of that rabbit hutch. I'm gonna do a quick check on Mama. Just had her babies last night. This is her first nest and she did amazing. All of the hay is in there and she pulled plenty of fur. Good job, Mom. She had 7 perfect babies. I'm gonna go give them back to her because she's not loving the fact that I took them away, but she's being a good girl. Hi, Mommy. I'm bringing them back right now. She didn't put much underneath them. They're almost on the wood, so I kind of tucked a little bit of hay under them before I put them back. Now they have a nice little mattress. So the last couple rainstorms have proven to me that I need something a little more on this structure for when I have the goats so they don't get rained on for the baby goats. So I'm probably going to buy a few tarps for rainstorms and snowstorms so I can cover all the it'll probably attach to this board up here. Cover all the sides so that rain doesn't come in sideways on them. Temporary purposes though, these little stall mats have been doing great. Just checking on this girl. She's the last one I have due for a while. She didn't have any hay in her nest, like she ate it all. And I gave her some last night and she left it here. So I just put it in the box just in case she's gonna have birth, that she has them in the right place. She'll be a first time mom too. This is such a good time of year for bunnies. Since I'm having such good luck, I'm just going to keep it going, keep having bunnies until it gets too cold. I don't like to have them when it's just absolutely freezing out because then you end up with a lot of frozen babies, which is sad. And then the opposite of that, which is worse, is the heat of summer. So when it's above 90, I don't like to have bunnies. So right now, while they're willing, I'm going to have as many litters as possible, just keep it going, and then we'll stop pretty soon when it's really cold. It's still pouring out, so I had to suck it up and do chores anyways. So releasing the hens every day isn't going great because it really stresses them out. They don't want to be caught, and I don't like chasing them, so I'm contemplating leaving them out, and I'm contemplating making them some sort of roost bar with a tarp over here. They'll probably like to be under, so we'll see if they use it. I'll have to go grab the smaller tarp and put it up. Now that the rain has stopped for the day, I'm going to try to get some projects done. I'm going to start off by planting some onion seeds. I already bought them and I meant to plant them a couple months ago, but since it really doesn't hurt to get them in the ground, worst case is they don't grow, best case is they come up next spring and I have some onions. I'm going to be planting some yellow sweet Spanish onions. This is the heirloom variety. So I got these off Amazon. They're survival garden seeds. And we're going to see how they grow. Worst case is I just buy some sets in the spring and restart them. But if they do grow, it'll be a nice head start and they'll get a little bit of roots before winter. So I'm going to stick with my garden plan I have drawn up, but meaning this is going to be my onion bed, the second one in on the right. So I'm just going to do a little weeding and make some rows of onion seeds. The instructions say to plant them 2 inches deep, which is actually much deeper than most plants I've done, so I'm surprised with that. It's not as many seeds as I thought I was going to get, so I might have to order some more.
We've been living in sin so long, all the fields are gone. Fella stopped me on the street last night, said everything's alright. Roller coaster, make it through the day upright. It seems your meal ticket is gone, but life goes on. I could never.
So the seeds are going a lot further than I thought they would. I just planted the 4th row and I'm about halfway done, so should get another 4 rows of onions. I think I have plenty of seeds.
But life goes on. I could never imagine something better. Yeah, right. Now you're cooking on high heat in the middle of the street. Roller coaster, take me to a better time. Let's go. All sing your high line with the roller coaster of life. Yeah. It's time to all choose your timeline on the roller coaster of life. Oh, you seem to easily forget how to place your bet. When everyday life gets you down, you gotta steal the.
Alright, so I just put up a tarp over some logs here for the chickens. So currently I'm still putting them away at night because they're still resting on top of the coop and fairly easy to catch. But if for some reason I can't catch them one night, or it's raining all day, or I just decide to leave them out for some reason, they now have a place to get out of the rain where they can perch and they won't be pooping on the rabbits, hopefully. Alright, so here's where I'm at with my repairs so far. I added a piece of plywood over the spongy wire to fix the bottom of the cage. And then I patched up the sides with just some 2x4s. The rabbits are eating some really big holes in the plywood there. So it's doing twofold. It's covering that hole so they can't continue to eat the wall. And then it's also giving me a place to screw the back into that's stronger. So next step is I'm going to need something to make this piece a lot stronger. I think I'm going to do the same thing. I'll do a 2x4 on each side to sandwich it. And then I think I need a 1x in the front to bring it out to the same thickness. No, I'm actually just going to, I'm just going to have the 2x4s stick out a little bit. That should also give me something to screw into. All right, it's not perfect, but that'll do. That's all I'm going to do for repairs. Now I just need to go cut a piece of plywood into a frame with 4 doors in it, put the hinges on, and that'll be it. All right, so I snapped a chalk line at 24 3/4. I'm going to just cut it with this jigsaw. Here's the door frame for the face of the rabbit hutch. My husband and I stayed up till 9:30 last night working on the back of that rabbit hutch. We have it where I just have a few more things to do to finish it up. It just got too late. Here's the frame with the 2 side doors. So I'm just going to cut out these two circle areas on both of the center doors. And then I just need to staple on some wire on the inside of the door. Then I'll put the hinges and the latch on, and I'll put the whole frame on the cage. So what I'm doing to cut out these sections is I'm starting with the drill right in the corner. I'm making a hole big enough for the jigsaw blade to fit in. Then I'm going to cut across. I'm going to put another hole so that the blade has room to turn the corner. So essentially I'm going to want a hole on all four corners eventually. Alright, so the reason we left the holes not symmetric is because one is going to be wide enough to hold a feeder, and the other side will hold water, and then the mesh will just let some airflow and light in the back. I'm on final assembly now. I went through and stapled the wire onto the inside of the doors. Normally I really prefer to use cable staples, but they were over 1 inch long, and this is only 3/4 inch plywood. And since I didn't choose to sandwich the wire in like I normally would, I just used regular staples, which is fine, but it's more annoying because they tend to jam up and bend and not go in as nicely. So I bought the least expensive hinges they had at Lowe's, which worked okay for the little doors, but at looking at the big doors here, I decided they were way too small to hold the weight. So they're still going to have this latch that'll match, but I just have some leftover interior door hinges I'm going to put on the big doors. So here's the finished product. I'm really happy to get this done. This project has been on the back of my mind for a while now, and it really needed to get done. So now I have another 8 feet of caging for rabbits. Please remember to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. We'll see you next time on Bernadoodle's Barnyard. Stay safe, guys.